When I first heard about coronavirus, like it sounded bad, but it just sounded like any other thing. And all of a sudden, when like the university and a lot of other universities, like institutions that typically seem so sure of themselves and they seem so powerful, recognizing that this was something that had to be treated seriously in this particular fashion, I thought to myself, like, wait, this is like serious. This is real. This is actually going to like disrupt our way of life for a while.
I didn't understand and still kind of can't wrap my head around how serious it is, like how many people are out of work, how many people have died already. So it just feels kind of like unreal. We haven't left the apartment for 2.5 weeks now. So it's been kind of like days rolling into other days and pretty monotonous.
There is no vibrance anymore. The community feels very dead, very stilted. It seems as if almost all activity has kind of come grinding to a halt, except for maybe passing by the occasional jogger as you go to get your ration groceries in some sense. It's shocking and it's sad.
All these things that would have been like really cool. All the senior spring events like MSI9, the shed, senior formal and stuff. But it's just a situation and you just like make the best of whatever you're given.
It was a little chilly when I stepped out, and then now it's just too chilly. I'll take it off when we stand the great line for filming. Great line to film. Get some tomatoes now.
I feel like I'm not supposed to cross that border. So I just stand here and I look. Which is like nothing really to look at. Like the best you can see is that every now and then, like the building across over there, some people will like come out and take out their trash. They'll just go right back in.
You got a pickup?
Yeah.
What's the name?
Josh?
Who do you know?
Yeah.
It'll be 27.
Each day feels a little more the same. You know, even if I can think of anything really fun to do, or something really interesting, or the actions that can be taken are extremely limited. It's kind of like scavenging, like scavenging for meaning, in a sense, rather than just kind of like seeing the world as this like limitless, endless range of possibilities. I feel like I'm kind of like scavenging and scrapping whatever possibilities there are.
Milo, I'm gonna beat you.
As I've grown up, like I
Why?
grew up with hurricanes, like evacuating from hurricanes as a kid. So like everything felt very apocalyptic then and like unstable. I live right next to refineries and we had explosions at the refineries over Thanksgiving and like fires. And so we had to evacuate for Thanksgiving. And now like this hurricane season is supposed to be, so it really feels like my dad was saying, like we can't catch a break. So honestly, sometimes I just laugh that this pandemic happened because it feels like, of course, like this would happen. Like what else could have? So I'm from Texas. We have a lot of family here in Port Arthur, Groves, and in Fort Worth, which is more north. And then I have some family in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. So they were kind of all going to come in and it was going to be like a family reunion type of thing. But like my graduation was the reason. And that's kind of all, been scratched, obviously. I think also none of my family has ever like graduated from a place like UChicago. My parents both went to like a local state college here in Southeast Texas, and like no one in my family has really moved away, like had a typical college experience that you see in movies. And I was kind of the first. And so to celebrate that and like to see a graduation and to be a part of that was going to be like, I think like a cultural moment for our family, if that makes sense. It's not just me, but it's also like all the things that my family was going to get to do. Like my little cousins have never been to a city before. So like being able to go to Chicago and see what that's like, I feel like could have been inspiring for them.
So another day in quarantine. Today is a big day because my roommate left. Feels weird to have a completely kind of abandoned apartment now.
Yeah, I think like talking to people during the quarantine has made me reflect on all the good things. People who I wouldn't expect to have reached out to me have like reached out to be like, I'm so sorry your senior year is lost. So I think the crisis has shown me I still have a support network who will like be with me after UChicago. And so I feel like I've gotten closure.
Eckerd Hall is where I've had a lot of my formative experiences. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of memories, a lot of work. But yeah, I think I'll miss it. It's bittersweet, I think, is the right word to describe it. I think there were some really great times, I think, specifically a lot of them when I was studying in groups. I met some of the most intelligent and interesting people of my life, but sort of even when we didn't get anywhere, it's always great, to wax poetic and laugh about how terrible our situation is and how stupid we are and how we're not figuring anything out. But that was still a good time.
What I have seen is people being very anxious about their job prospects, and I think rightfully so. Like we're graduating into a time where there's huge amounts of unemployment in the US, and I think that trickles down to a lot of people's job prospects.
Originally, I had a summer internship, and unfortunately, the internship was canceled without pay or anything like that. So I'm back on the job market. I sort of hoped that internship would be a kind of segue to a job at the same firm, but unfortunately, it didn't really pan out.
What is special about this school? It's always like the people that populate it and the experiences you have, and like, because like that's special, right? Like having the time, spending time together with people is like special. Like when you're all together, it's something you don't get once you graduate. I can always come back to the city of Chicago and like bike along the lakefront again. I can like eat at the same restaurants I've eaten at again. What I can't get is time with people, and there are definitely like friendships I would have made, new friendships I would have made, and like friendships that would have been like that would have been tighter if I had spring quarter, like physically with people. But no, I don't. And there's like other things I can fill in this time, and that's just like what you have to do, I guess, and like go for okay.
I always mess that part up when we try to.